major seventh chord, all right, is constructed from the major scale. So if we have the major scale right here, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So the C major seventh chord is built off the third, or excuse me, the root, the third, the fifth, and the seventh of the C major scale, and it's built off the root, third, fifth, and seventh of every major scale, and that is the major seventh chord, as it were. So as you can see, it's basically every other note in the scale. All right. So if we take those notes and arrange them on one note per string on the guitar, we might have something like this. Okay, C, E, G, B. All right, and we can play that here. All right, and then right here. Okay, so if you're familiar with inversions, okay, with the triads, well, you can create inversions with this chord voicing as well. I mean, you can create inversions with any chord voicing for that matter. Okay, but when we create inversions with this chord, we create some very unfriendly for guitar fingerings, as it were. They're more suitable for piano. So, you know, this is the root form of the C major seventh. All right, 1, 3, 5, 7. So the first inversion of that would be 3, 5, 7, and then 1 down here. So you have. Okay, and then the second inversion would be 5, 7, 1, 3. Okay, that one's not too tough. And this one's a real killer. It's 7, and then 1, 3, 5. Let's see. Okay, that's kind of really hard to do on the guitar. So because of that, someone created the Drop2 system of chords. All right, we're going to take a look at that. So let's go here to neck diagrams. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the C major scale here, and like I said, the major seventh chord is built off the first, third, fifth, and seventh of the scale, right? So let's arrange that on this guitar here. Alright, so you got the C major seventh, and so the first inversion, as I was saying, is 3, 5, 7, 1. Okay, and so that's very hard to play on the guitar. Maybe higher up on the neck it'd be okay, but you know, down here, yeah, like most people can't stretch their hand out that far. So these are more piano-esque type voicings, but that's not to say you throw these out and never use them. Alright, you just might use them higher up on the guitar. Okay, third inversion is right here. Okay, so someone that was pretty smart came out with this Drop2 system of chords. Okay, let me explain how it works. So if we look at the major seventh, voiced high to low as voice 1, voice 2, voice 3, and voice 4. If we take the second voice, which is G, alright, and we drop it an octave, okay, and we're going to take this B note here, and we're just going to bring it in closer right there. Okay, so here we have a second inversion. Alright, G, C, E, B, that's 5, 1, 3, 7. Okay, and that's pretty guitar friendly. Okay, so we can continue that concept, right? We're going to take the B, drop it an octave. Okay, we're going to bring the C in closer here. All right, this is the third inversion right here. 7 3 5 1. Okay. Now we can take this second inversion and we can take the C here, the second voice, drop it, okay, and then bring this E in closer. Now we have a root form. Okay, and then we're going to take the second highest voicing here, or voice, and we're going to drop it. That's the E, drop it over here, bring the G in closer. Alright, that's the first inversion. Okay. Okay, let's talk about another way of looking at this, okay? So, if we arranged the notes in alphabetical order or as they appear in the scale, C, E, G, B, right? Because that, if we look at the scale up here, C, E, G, B, that's the order they appear in the scale. And we use this order per each string. We can also get the inversions from that. So if we were just starting out with this chord voicing right here, and that's all we had to go on, right? Then we could rearrange these notes in alphabetical order, okay, and then travel that way up each string, okay, to get the rest of the inversions. So in other words, after C, or excuse me, let's go over here to the chord. So we got this G note on the low E, right? So what's after G if we're traveling up the string? Well, let's go over here to our sequence. After G is B. So we go over here to the low E. See, that's B is next. Let's go back here to this chord, this drop 2 second inversion. C. Okay, what's after C in our sequence? Well, let's go look. After C is E, right? So we go to the A string. See, the E is there, and so forth. After E, right, is G. There it is. Okay, and then after B is C, and so on. And that's how we would get the rest of these voicings on the guitar. And what I'm sharing with you right here, you can use for any chord voicing. Okay, it usually works, and you get a good set of inversions in chord voicings from using this method. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go here. Okay. Alright, so we were just looking at these chord voicings right here. The second inversion, okay? C major 7 over G, and I'm looking right here. C major 7 over G, that's 5 1 3 7. Okay, and then the next one, C major 7 over B, 7 3 5 1. And then we've got C major 7, and that's our root form. Why do we call that a root form? Because our root is the lowest note, C. So we call this the root form. Okay, and then we have C major 7 over E. Okay, that's our first inversion, 3 7 1 5. Okay, now we can transfer these voicings, okay, to the next set of strings. Okay, so here we are on the A, D, G, and B. Okay.